Kawhi Leonard withdraws due to injury, and he was replaced by Celtics. Great. Celtics wingman, Derrick White. Your thoughts?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Why not Jaylen Brown?
You tell me.
There's the first thing that popped into my head. Why not Jaylen Brown? How is it that Kawhi Leonard gets taken off Team USA and Derrick White gets picked over Jaylen Brown? And look, I'm not picking on Derrick White. We all love Derrick White. We know what he stands for. We understand the contributions he makes to the roster and a winning team and all that stuff. We all love Derrick White. Jaylen Brown's a better player. Jaylen Brown should be higher up on the list of candidates to replace Kawhi Leonard, especially when you compare profiles of the guy who came off the roster.
I was going to say, not only is Jaylen Brown a better player, doesn't he profile closer to what Kawhi Leonard is?
Almost identical. I even looked it all up.
Like it's like that. Like I know when you do the basketballreference.com like players, don't they do similarity scores?
Yes.
I would imagine Jaylen Brown and Kawhi Leonard are on each other's list.
I can tell you statistically they're almost identical. Okay, the ages are different. They have roughly the same points per game, assists per game, rebounds per game. Kawhi Leonard's a better three-point shooter by about 5 or 6%. And the minutes played are the same, meaning they're star nucleus players.
Give me their size.
6'7" for Leonard, 6'6" for Brown.
What's Derrick White?
6'3", 6'4". I'll double check.
You're 6'4".
Okay, so they got smaller, where with Jaylen Brown, you're not getting, getting just a hair smaller. With Derrick White, you're getting smaller. And Jaylen Brown's a better player.
He's the perfect comp for Leonard. Again, and the things that Leonard does, okay? Leonard is not like a great facilitator.
No. He's a wing who defends and has a good mid-range game.
Right. Bingo.
And similar size.
Correct.
So what am I missing here?
You're not missing anything. And to me, it hits you in the face for crying out loud.
And did Jaylen...
By the way, the similarity scores I just looked up to give you, because you mentioned it, number one on the list of similarity scores for Kawhi Leonard is Jaylen Brown.
Number one.
Yep.
Okay, score one for old Felger. I just did that off the top of the head. Right down the schmenzer. That one. Similarity scores on probasketballreference.com. That's what Jaylen Brown should be. That's who he should aspire to be. He's almost him. And they take Derrick White? So you got to explain that to me.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Didn't Derrick White get passed over for Eastern Conference All-Star?
So what?
Well, I'm just saying they didn't even put him on the Eastern Conference All-Star team.
I see. Yes. So reinforcing this.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Who makes the call?
According to, as of January 24th, the guy making the call for the men's USA team is Grant Hill.
Grant Hill.
The national team managing director, Grant Hill.
And tell me the coaching staff. It's Steve Kerr.
Eric Spoelstra's on the staff.
Tyronn Lue and Mark Few, who is the Gonzaga coach.
So, they hate the Celtics. They took a Celtic. Okay, so you can't do that thing. It's just they took one Celtic over the other. It's got to be explained to me.
I wonder about the strategic nature of that, too. We're going to pass over Brown, but let's take another Celtic so he can't be pissed. Or something like that. You know what I mean? Look, again, I don't get it. I think Brown's assuming he wanted to play, and I think he did, I think he kind of gets screwed.
Well, did Jaylen Brown send out some emoji or something?
He sent out the Sherlock Holmes emoji.
Okay, please explain. Oh, so
magnifying glass, wondering what's going on here.
What's this about? Yeah. We need to investigate or whatever. Okay. I don't speak emoji, but you know what I mean. He sent out something. Interesting. So that is
with the monocle.
Okay, so listen, here's how it relates to this Fakakta USA basketball. I got no interest. Unless someone really challenges them, I'm barely going to watch the thing. I can't watch 30-point basketball blowouts. You know this about me.
Unless they lose.
Unless you make a bet.
Unless they're losing by 30, then I'm in. You're right.
And that's 4 hours.
Then Then we're golden. But if they're just going to go there and roll everybody, I have no interest in the thing. But here's how it does interest me, is that Jaylen Brown and this thing about him being recognized. So it's he gets the conference MVP. He gets the finals MVP. Now it's USA basketball, which is a whole nother level up. All these guys want it because it's, status.
Prestige.
Status, prestige. Never mind. It's going to be a freaking party. Okay? These guys, it's like, just wait.
As Murray would say, it's the summer of doing.
All right. So it is
in Paris.
It is, yeah. So it's going to be the place to be. And so Brown wants in. And it's like, I can't get recognized. And he's going to look at that and say, I can't get recognized here. I can't. If I were anywhere else, I'd be on this team. But because I'm second fiddle, I'm not on the team. Now, I don't know how Derrick White gets on the team because he's third or fourth, fifth fiddle, whatever. But you can just how Jaylen Brown would think about this. Also, and again, this is another thing you have to explain to me. Some Fakakta video game Tatum's on the cover of.
Oh, is it an NBA 2K or something?
Someone help me. You need to fill in this blank.
Is that true?
Yes, NBA 2K, Jayson Tatum is on the cover. They announced it this morning.
Thank you.
It's the NFL version of Madden.
Okay.
I mean, the NBA version of Madden.
Okay. So, like, that's a pretty prestigious thing, I would imagine?
Yes.
100%.
Lot of money, lot of coin, lot of prestige.
Right. The finals MVP did not get on the cover. Jayson Tatum did.
Okay, so like Jaylen Brown, like you just wonder if at some point Jaylen Brown is going to look at this and say, I make the money, and when I outplay him in the finals, I get the votes, but I still don't get the run that this guy does. And I'm not going to get the run as long as I'm here. Like, that's sort of how that adds up and how that starts. That's an example.
Yeah,
of
it's a worrisome thing. What you have to hope for is that Brown gets past it, and that, I mean, if you're a Celtics fan, that's the thing you would hope for. But you can understand. In this particular case, I didn't even know about the video game thing. I missed that. But you add them all up on the same day? If I were Brown, I'd be pissed. I would.
And at who? Like, the world.
Just in general.
And not blaming you, but this is like, when you say, like, why would Jaylen Brown feel like he's leaving opportunities on the table when he signs a max contract and gets named final MVP? He could get his due. He can have the stage. Well, here's an example. A next level stage. He's being neglected on, and I don't know why, but you could see Jaylen Brown looking at it and saying, well, as long as I'm the second fiddle, I'm not going to get my due. And this is an example of it. And I would say on this one, he's got a case. I don't know. Why would you take Derrick White over Jaylen Brown?
If I were Jaylen Brown, when you said who could you be pissed at, I'd be pissed at Grant Hill, Steve Kerr. Those guys had to have had significant influence in this thing.
Is Kawhi Leonard a significantly better ball handler than Jaylen Brown? Because
probably, yes.
So, I mean, that's still, you could say that's, Jaylen Brown is certainly not elite. It's getting better, but his handle is still an issue. Derrick White handles the ball well.
He does.
And so, when they ask Hill or Kerr, what could they possibly say? And what they would say is, that's a ball handling spot. He's coming off the bench. We anticipate blah, blah, blah. And we wanted a ball handler. And so they got a point guard as opposed to Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. Again, I would look at it, though, and say, you got other guys on the roster that could do it. I mean, it doesn't have to be just
You have Holiday,
him.
you have Halliburton, who both handle the ball very well. Devin Booker's probably going to come off the bench. He handles the ball well. So it's probably a case of LeBron James, Kevin Durant, maybe Tatum. They don't want to play with Jaylen Brown.
Maybe Tatum. Good one, Jimmy.
I'm just doing that for the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I just think I don't know what it is. And again, I'm.
Is Jaylen Brown not liked by players?
I haven't heard that. I mean, I haven't heard that. I would think that Tatum, again, maybe the way they pacify Tatum is say, we're going to take one of your teammates. So now he's like, what? Now I got to get in the middle of which teammate I'm going to take? It's sort of a tough spot for Tatum to be in. Somebody somewhere made the decision for Derrick. I don't get it. I don't, Mike. I don't understand it either. The first question I asked, the same one you asked, the same we all asked. How does Derrick White get picked over Jaylen Brown?
Especially with Drew Holiday, another Celtics
already
there. Like I feel like,
and like what did Tatum?
The Holiday one I get.
Of course, he's the ultimate role player,
and he's a veteran guy who's been around.
Like everyone wants that guy on his team. Like we get it. So that he shouldn't begrudge the Drew Holiday thing. But now you're replacing again a player he's extremely similar to,
Derrick White,
and they take Derrick White over him. Like,
My conspiracy theory would be in the same way they constructed the first Dream Team in '92 is nobody wanted to play with Isaiah Thomas of the Pistons, so they just phased him out totally. Maybe with a similar situation, Jaylen Brown, Kyrie Irving was in the original player pool of 41. Maybe they're just iced out because nobody wants to play with them, or LeBron doesn't want to play with them. Durant, Tatum, who knows?
Okay, why would I stop? We're not
doing it for the show, Mike.
I know, but let's keep it real. Why would LeBron and Durant not like him or not want to play with him?
Probably something with his role in the Players Association. That's a guess.
I don't have an answer for you.
Okay, so but that's not a bad one.
I know that during COVID times that LeBron James and Jaylen Brown had some issues about how some social justice things were handled. Okay,
so this is a fair thing to bring up, that they've clashed before at the union level or on some personal level or whatever, business level. So it's a personality thing. I mean, that's a huge component of NBA basketball now.
I'm sure it is.
Is the interpersonal relationships and the cliques. Oh my God, what a cliquey league that thing is. I mean, you need go no further than the All-Star weekend. It's a cool party. And are you invited to the cool party or not? That's what that whole thing is. And guys are obsessed about it in that league. So it is an incredibly cliquey league. And is this just an example of it? Because I think this Paris trip is going to be a version of NBA All-Star Weekend.
Yes, this is a version of that. But again, I also think, though, it goes beyond. If I were a guy on another team and Derrick White got picked, and I'm not Jaylen Brown, okay? I'd still be pissed.
I'd say, what are we doing here?
Right, I got nothing against Derrick White. I like Derrick White. Good for him. It's a good story. How many stars in the NBA didn't get picked for this, let alone a guy on the same team? Right? You look at it and say, I don't know, start going through the names. Jimmy just brought up Kyrie Irving. Damian Lillard, he's not on the team, right? Jalen Brunson, he's not on the team. You could have picked any one of those. Those guys are all looking at it going, Derrick White?
Well, that's a good one. Jalen Brunson.
Jimmy Butler was in the original pool of 41. De'Aaron Fox, Paul George.
Did Jalen Brunson send out a Sherlock Holmes emoji? He's a guy that would have a case. If you're taking a point guard, if you're taking a player with that profile, hello, right? So, I mean, is another example. We want a clearly defined role player. We don't want someone coming here thinking they're going to get shots or minutes. We want someone who is a role player, knows he's a role player, will accept the role, because otherwise we don't want to deal with a pain in the ass coming here, hacking up a million shots.
Maybe.
Or being a prima donna about the thing.
Okay, but then I come back to the original question. Then why'd you have Kawhi Leonard on the team in the first place? Out of respect?
Click. Yeah, he's in the club.
Okay, maybe.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.